The year was 1492, a date remembered for one voyage, one name, one ocean crossed. But while 3 ships moved west, millions lived, traded, ruled, and wrote beneath different skies. In China, fleets dwarfed anything in Europe. In the Ottoman world, ports thrived. In West Africa, scholars filled libraries. 1492 was not a single story. It was a world already in motion. Few could see how closely their futures would soon collide. History was not turning in one place. It was turning everywhere at once. Using advanced AI, we return to this world as it may once have appeared. Winter light lay across the hills of Granada, pale against the red stone of the Alhambra. On January 2nd, 1492, Muhammad XII, the last Nasrid ruler, surrendered the city to Ferdinand and Isabella. Keys were delivered. Banners shifted above the towers. The Treaty of Granada promised protections for Muslim subjects. Those guarantees would not endure. Within days, siege gave way to administration. Tables stood beneath arches, parchment unrolled, storehouses opened, estates were measured, names were entered into record, military victory became fiscal integration. Granada was not only conquered, it was catalogued. Victory secured territory. Ink secured authority. Power hardened in ledgers. In March, the Alhambra Decree moved outward under royal seal. On March 31st, 1492, Ferdinand and Isabella ordered the expulsion of practicing Jews from their realms. Families gathered documents. Property was assessed. Ledgers amended. Categories of belonging were rewritten in ink. Authority tightened through definition. By late summer, at the Atlantic port of Palos, 3 ships rested against their moorings: the Santa Maria, the Pinta, the Niña. The expedition was led by Christopher Columbus under commission from Ferdinand and Isabella. Contracts defined shares of profit. Crew names were entered one by one. Provisions were measured against distance. The voyage was calculation before it was legend. When the tide shifted, ropes fell in heavy coils. Canvas rose. The ships cleared the harbour and entered open Atlantic water. Weeks passed. Wind, current, distance. In October, land appeared low on the horizon. The Atlantic had been crossed, but beyond that horizon, cities larger than most in Spain were already standing. Separate systems, shared time. In the Valley of Mexico, Tenochtitlan rose from Lake Texcoco, one of the largest cities in the world at the time. Under Ahuitzotl, the Aztec state governed a tributary empire stretching across central Mesoamerica. Canoes moved constantly through canals carrying maize, cotton textiles, cacao, and obsidian. Tribute lists specified obligation by region. Goods were counted, recorded, redistributed. Empire functioned through logistics. It was not awaiting discovery. It was already structured. The mechanisms differed. The structure did not. Where tribute moved by canoe in Mexico, grain moved north by canal in Ming China. In Beijing, the Hongji Emperor presided over a bureaucracy spanning immense territory. Clerks recorded households. Acreage was measured. Grain quotas assessed. Registers accumulated. Paper-bound province to capital. Decades earlier, imperial fleets under Zheng He had crossed the Indian Ocean in expeditions far larger than the Iberian fleets of 1492. Administration sustained scale. Continuity sustained power. To the west, another empire held firm. In Istanbul, Bayezid II ruled an empire linking southeastern Europe and Anatolia. Ships entered the Golden Horn from the Black Sea and the Aegean. Spices, silk, grain, wax, all passed through regulated markets. Customs duties were recorded in ledgers. Revenue sustained naval strength. Commerce reinforced sovereignty. Across the Sahara, caravans advanced between salt mines in the north and gold-producing regions in the south. Contracts defined liability, credit operated across distance. In Timbuktu, scholars taught law and mathematics. Manuscripts circulated. Gold moved north. Salt moved south. These systems functioned independently of the Atlantic world. Throughout the Indian Ocean basin, merchants timed departure to the turning monsoon winds. In Calicut, spice trade flourished. Gujarati traders, Arab navigators, Swahili ports, all operated within established maritime networks. Ships were stitched with fiber cord. Routes followed seasonal rhythms known for generations. These maritime systems were not organized around Europe. They were already interlinked. Tribute lists in Tenochtitlan, tax registers in Beijing, customs accounts in Istanbul, caravan contracts across the Sahara, shipping manifests across the Indian Ocean. Across continents, authority was secured through record. Power was measured, entered, renewed in writing. Independent systems, simultaneous worlds, all moving. While Columbus prepared letters for the Castilian court, the wider world did not pause. Grain continued north, caravans crossed, ships entered harbor. Tribute was counted, registers were updated, the ships returned, reports were delivered. Ink met parchment once more. The Atlantic had been crossed, but the world had not been waiting. When Columbus sailed west, he entered systems already in motion. 1492 was not a beginning. It was a convergence.